Have you heard of Nearpod but not quite sure what you can do with it? Are you a Nearpod user and you want to know about some awesome new features it has? Let's tech about it.
I am such a big fan of Nearpod, and one thing I really like about it is they keep updating features that make it even more awesome than it was before. I created this sample lesson about author's purpose because I wanted to show you some of the things that you can do whether you've used Nearpod before or you have not. The first thing that I started out with in my Nearpod lesson is a video, and this video actually came from the Nearpod library. It's a little bit less than a minute and a half, and it's all about author's purpose. They say it in a nice, clear, and concise way, and then I was able to ask questions along the way to try to gauge student understanding. So after I created my video, I wanted to do a poll next just to kind of get some student engagement, kind of hook them and see what type of writing do they like best. Polls are easy to do, and it's also a great way to kind of gauge where students are at. Now, a new feature they have that I think is pretty exciting is they have a new whiteboard feature. So as a teacher, from my teacher point of view, you know what, after watching that video, maybe I decide, you know what, I really want to create a whiteboard with the class, and I want to jot down some possible keywords that might help us determine what the author's purpose is before we get to the different activities. I can add that whiteboard, and then we can use that to brainstorm. Also would be great for math, so if you ever want to use Nearpod for a math lesson. Up next in my lesson, I decided to add some slides to kind of see if they could figure out the author's purpose. So here I have one for persuade. My next one here is something called sway. This is an informational text, and it's cool how it's set up kind of an interactive way. I can read through these cards. So this one is to inform. And then for the next one, I have here looking at entertain. Now, another cool feature that they have added to Nearpod recently is the teacher can annotate. I can't show it to you right now because I'm showing you from the student point of view, but down in the corner there's a spot with a little marker, and I can annotate on this. So if I wanted to circle keywords or if I wanted to jot down some ideas, I could do that as I'm going through my lesson. Before, you couldn't really change anything as you were going through your lesson, but now you can use the whiteboard, you can annotate, you can also add an activity as the lesson's going on. Another great improvement. Up next here, this is probably one of my favorite features on here, is there are different VR experiences. Now, if students have iPads, they can actually hold them up and move them around to look around. But for this one, if it was on a laptop or Chromebook, they can just use their mouse to look around. I picked a volcano here because what I wanted to do is I wanted to give the students some inspiration, because on the next step, they are going to write a sentence using one of the author's purpose. So here is a collaborate board. For this, students can type their ideas, they can put a picture if they want to, and what I wanted them to do here was to write a sentence that shows one of the author's purpose. Now, once this happens, students will see them coming up on their screen, and we could then talk about the sentences and see if they could guess what the author's purpose was for that sentence. Vocabulary integrates very well with Nearpod, and so here I found a great vocabulary video about author's purpose just to build that excitement and engagement around music. And then I finished with a matching activity to kind of help me formatively assess their understanding of what we just learned. I hope you think that this is a cool tool because it's one that I think there's so much we can do with. If you're looking for ideas on how you can use Nearpod, please reach out and I'll share a bunch in my email with you too. Have a great day.